everybody, this is Brittnee's Cooking Corner. Now I am going to show you guys how to make crepes with the apples. Now as you can see, I started cutting up the apples already, but I didn't finish obviously. What I'm doing right now is cutting up the apples. I'm using a chef's knife, but any knife that you could use for cutting is acceptable. But for now, I'm using a chef's knife. Now, I'm using the Empire apples, but any type of apple that you prefer is alright. Right now, I'm cutting up the apples, and you want to cut them up, but not that small, because when you fry them, they kind of shrink because it looks like a lot, but it's really not. Because I made this a couple times for at school, and they really do shrink. Okay, so I'm gonna do all of this and just cut them up a few times. Okay, just like that. Now, what I'm going to do is slide them into the bowl and just make sure none fall out. If some fall out, don't worry about it. See, just fell out, which it's okay. Okay, so that's pretty much about it for now. But right now, what you're going to do is get a tablespoon of light brown sugar, which I use that, which obviously this isn't really. There you go. Then you probably just do like another, because these are big apples, so maybe about 2.5 tablespoons would be acceptable. Okay. So now, what you would do is get some cinnamon and just put as much cinnamon as you want. Like, you don't have to really put as much as you think needs it. And if you don't think that's enough, then you would just get more. Now, you would mix it up in the bowl. Make sure everything's all mushed up. Okay. Once it's all mixed up, what you would do from here is turn the the stove, I'm sorry, and you would put it on a medium high. Because you don't want them to like fry up, but you do want them nice and soft. So, okay. Now what you would do is pour the apples into the thing, and it's going to get warm. So you pour them in there. Once it gets hot, you'll start hearing them frying. Okay. So you can hear them already. They're starting to fry. And you would mix them around, obviously. I'm just going to add a little more cinnamon to it because I think it needs more cinnamon. Okay, so I'm just going to let them cook. There you go. Okay. We'll be right back. Hi, and welcome back to Brittnee's Cooking Corner. Now I am going to show you guys how to make the crepes. Now, what you would do first is make sure you guys would always do the dry ingredients first. I had to learn that in a certain way. Now, I would say about a half of salt would be okay, because you don't want your crepes to be salty. Trust me, you don't want that. Okay. And then you would just pour that in there. Now first you would make sure Now put like mix it up a little bit and put like a little hole in the center, and you would add your eggs to it. And then you would add one more egg. You need 2 eggs. Okay. Okay. Now you would put the milk on the outer side of it so it gets all of the flour. Now all you would do is mix it up, but you have to make sure that there are no clumps in it at all. And as you can see, there is somewhat clumps in it, but you don't really need to worry about that. Okay. Just make sure that there aren't any clumps. In it at all. Okay, and we will be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Now I'm going to start cooking them. Now, I'm going to bring it over here. Okay. So now, what you do is get 1/3 cup of the crepe mix. And what you would do first is turn on the wood and turn it on high, because you need them to cook immediately. So what you would do afterwards is get about a cup of it. Turn down just a tiny bit. Okay. Now afterwards you will pour it in. You just have to wait a minute. Because it needs to start cooking, but it won't really cook yet. But it does need to be on a high level. Now, with your apples, you could probably just turn it off, because they're not going to really do anything afterwards. They're just going to stay warm in the pot. Just like that. Make sure it's nice and thin. Now, it could be a little big, but that doesn't really matter. Now you're going to check it to make sure that it's done. Now it's not done, obviously. Now it's on high, but if you're like in a culinary kitchen, you can't really, you don't have that type of stove to make it go like in like 3 seconds to cook it on the bottom. So you might have to wait a few minutes. So, yeah. Okay. Now, if you think it's done, you would do is flip it over. Now, they might not look like they're really done, but they kind of are. Now you just have to get a plate and stick them on the plate after this one's done. And then your first one would be done. Now for your next one, you would do the same exact thing. They don't really taste the best, but it just makes a flavor of the apples. Alright, and I will be right back. Hi everybody. Now while I was making the crepes, I finished them. Now I'm going to show you guys how to put them together. What you do is just grab just a regular spoon, and what you would do is put the apples down the center. It's okay if your crepes cooled off, because they don't stay hot for very long. Just like if you make homemade pancakes. Now, what you would do is kind of wrap it up. It's okay if some of the apples fall out because it's not going to be perfect. Alright, now the last one, you would put the apples on it once again. Down the center. Just like that. Now you can also, instead of using apples, you can also use strawberries, blueberries, chocolate chips, anything that you want that you like. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Cranberries, anything. Okay, so as you can see, finish them, but you have any extra fruits or vegetables left over, you would pile them on top so it will look somewhat decent on top to make it look good. And you could stick them on the side. Doesn't really matter. Like that. Okay. Now last, you would grab some confectionery sugar, powdered sugar, and you would sprinkle it all over so it has somewhat a taste to it. Like that. Now this could hold, the apples it's really filling, so it would make it like that. And those are your crepes. So those are your crepes, just like that. Don't they look good? Okay, now that's it for Brittnee's cooking corner. Now if you want to see more videos, you could comment, you could like, you could dislike. I will be making more stuff soon, hopefully. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!